Alright guys, it's your boy Carol here with another banger, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly what the top 1% webinar looks like on the back-end side of things. Now, before diving into it, I just want to give you a little bit of context on why you should be doing webinars, masterclasses, workshops, it's all the same by the way, and why you are losing out on a fuck ton of money if you're not doing them already as an infopreneur, right? Now, why are webinars so powerful is because it's the perfect conversion mechanism that can get someone from I don't even know what you're doing or I'm not really interested but let's give it a shot to I'm fucking sold on this. I'm like begging you to be part of your exclusive product, right? And that's exactly why webinars are so powerful. You should see them as large sales calls where you can get your entire audience, entire following on it. Or if you're doing cold webinars where you can lead as many people as possible to them. Sometimes they give you 2, 3, 4 hours of time to literally justify on why they should be paying attention and why this is so big and so important and why people should literally pay you instead of someone else. And you have all this time to shift their beliefs and to decide which content pieces or which information you give when in the entire process. So you have full control over what exact information people are consuming. And that's why it is so powerful. In this video specifically, I'm gonna be talking about doing warm or organic webinars, right? And you have two types of webinars, as I said, organic webinars, and then you have the cold webinars. And the big difference is your organic webinars are for people who already know you or watch some of your content, right? And cold webinars are for pure strangers, basically. Now, if you've never done webinars or you never really got good at it, right? I would highly recommend to start off with organic webinars because these people, they already give a fuck about you, right? So it's way easier to build a connection with them, get them through the entire webinar. Well, on cold webinars, they don't give a fuck about you. They just want to see value. They just want to see if you're full of shit or not. So webinars, organically, you can do them once a month, and cold webinars, you can do them every week, right? Now, I'm gonna be talking about warm webinars, as I said. Everything starts with your social media, right? With your audience. And if you want to do organic webinars every month, then you don't want to just invite a few people and just say like, hey, I'm doing this webinar, show up. It will probably be cool, but you want to create an entire event. You want to create a lot of buzz around it on why people should show up. You should literally be communicating to your audience that they can't afford to miss this out. Okay, now if you want to do organic webinars every month, then you shouldn't be just inviting a few people and just saying like, hey, I'm doing this event, show up, it will probably be cool, see you there, ciao. No. What you want to do is you want to invite everyone. You want to post it in your content, in your stories. You want to make sure that all of your following, your entire audience knows about this specific event. And you want to create such a huge amount of buzz around it. And you want to communicate to your audience that they can't afford to miss out on this event. And what you're then going to have is you are going to create a fuck ton of urgency with it, right? Because it's such a huge event, they literally can't miss out on it. Because on every event, on every webinar, you are promising a specific set of outcomes they will get if they go through the entire webinar and if they show up live, right? How you want to do that is, as I said, you want to create an event. This really should be about the topic that you're talking about. So let's say in the agency space, in the money-making space, you can have event names like high ticket recurring, or you can have maybe 6-figure deals. Or as a mindset coach, you might be naming your webinar as millionaire mindset. And why? Because these click directly within the prospect's head. They know exactly, okay, it's about signing high ticket recurring deals, or it's about adopting the millionaire mindset. So it needs to click. And maybe you're wondering, right? Well, if I do them every month, isn't it all going to be the same? It's gonna be bored and gonna say like, yeah, whatever, exactly, it does it every month. No, because you want to come from different angles each and every time. You don't want to have the exact same name every time again, but you want to go from a different angle. So first off, as I said, maybe you're going from the angle of signing high ticket recurring deals. The other time is, hey, it's about signing 6-figure deals. Maybe it's about AI partnering or AI marketing agency, whatever it is. And because you do it that way, you will always create urgency and create create curiosity within each and every lead that you have, even if they attended 1, 2, 3 other webinars. And that's also something. Not everyone buys from join 3, 4 webinars before they actually buy from you. It's logical because the 7-4-11 rule, as you might know it says that you need to spend 7 hours on 4 different platforms within 11 different touch points or more to finally be able to trusting someone fully. And if you do a few webinars of 2-3 hours, then probably after 3 webinars, you already spent that specific amount of time with these people. Once you start posting it on all your social media, on your stories, in your email list, everywhere, people are going to opt in for the webinar. On the opt-in page, you don't just want to say like, hey, here, sign up and see you then. You want to sell every visitor on that page on showing up on the webinar, right? And why exactly it is that they need to show up, what they are going to learn, what's in it for them, right? Now, on that page, you don't just want to tell like, hey, sign up here, see you there, all cool. No, what you want to do is you want to sell the webinar. You want to show exactly why they should show up, like why they can't afford to miss it, what they are going to learn at the end of the webinar. And if you sell the outcome, I'd say like have an opt-in rate of 30 to 50% for all the visitors that are coming on the page, right? And after you have your thank you page. Now, what a lot of people do on a thank you page is they just say like, you signed up, work is done, cool, see you there, ciao ciao. If you do that, then you're a complete idiot, right? It's completely false, because once they signed up, now you get the chance to finally convince people to show up on the webinar. And you want to, between the time of registering and the time of attending the webinar, you want to give them every reason possible for showing up on this webinar or this masterclass, right? And how you can start doing that already is, for example, on the thank you page, you can put some YouTube videos at the bottom of it, so they already watch your content, they're already interacted with you, and they already are going to trust you because they watch your content and they're interacting with you on maybe a daily basis, right? And first off, now that's a part of the hammer them strategy. And what you can do for everyone who signed up for your webinar, you can via ads literally hammer them with specific content pieces to shift their beliefs and to make sure that they already are sold before they hop on the webinar, right? So make sure they watch and consume as many content pieces as possible. Now, second of all, you want to be blasting your registrants with emails. And if I say blasting, I literally mean blasting. You can send up to 6 emails per day, every day between they register and when the webinar goes live, right? And what you want to do, of course, you don't want to make it all a reminder. Hey, in 7 days our webinar goes live. Hey, in 10 days, no. Now, what you want to do is you want to tell them exactly, okay, what they are going to learn, why they should show up. You want to do some objection handling. You want to show some testimonials, right? So you want to literally go over all the topics you can possibly do about this specific event via email. And you can even ask your entire email list some questions so that you can make an email off of that for sure, but also you can tweak your own webinar because of the information you got there via these responses, right? So make sure they're not just boring reminders, but they are value-dense emails that they want to open, right? Third of all, what you also can't forget are SMS sequences, right? Because while these are value-dense emails and you're hammering them with content, these SMS sequences should be real reminders, right? You want to send them 2 days before the webinar, 1 day before, when you're live, 5 minutes after you're live, right? You want to send them all the time to remind them, because most of the time people are just on their phones. If you don't do this, you will miss out on a fuck ton of attendees on your webinar. It doesn't matter how much here, but if you forget to install your SMS sequence, then you're fucked, right? So make sure you have your SMS sequences in place. Now, last, one of the things that a lot of people don't do is sending all of your registrants, leading them to a WhatsApp group, right? And why this is so important is because on this WhatsApp group, people are gonna connect with each other. People are gonna see you giving value, see you posting video notes, etc. Now, why this is so powerful is with this WhatsApp group, you're gonna create a small community, right? And they're gonna see you on a daily basis. You're gonna notify them. People are gonna interact with each other. People are gonna ask you some questions. Now, this registrant, together with all of these things here, is going to make sure that each and every registrant are gonna be reminded every single day about your webinar. Now, how do you get all of these people to go in your WhatsApp group? Because it's additional work they have to do, it's additional headache, etc. You want to sell people joining the WhatsApp group, and how you can do it is maybe you're doing a giveaway for everyone who joined the WhatsApp group. Maybe you're giving inside information that you're not giving anywhere else, right? So give them a reason to sign up. Now, as I said, people are gonna interact with each other, people are gonna ask questions. Now, what you want to do every day is you wanna be recording some video notes within this WhatsApp group every single day, and you are going to be answering questions of people or giving some announcements or some other lessons you've learned along the journey. This way, you're constantly engaging with everyone in the group and you're warming them up big time. Let's say they are hyped up about 7 out of 10 here, then make sure that after this, after the WhatsApp group, when they join the live webinar, they are hyped up 11 out of 10. So this is an accelerator for how hyped they are and how interested they are in the webinar. So make sure you hype everyone up and make sure they have way more reasons for showing up to the webinar than they already had once they signed up for it, right? If you do it all correctly, man, at least you want to have a show rate of 30-40% on the webinar. Now, what you want to be doing on the webinar itself, I'm not going to go very deep into that, but mainly your webinar, you make sure that you've divided in 3 to 5 pillars, right? 3 to 5 topics where you are going to go over according to the event name that you gave the webinar, right? Because you want to make sure that everything is structured and everything is overviewable, right? Basically, what you want to do on the webinar is you want to create an entire scene on why this is way bigger than you and all of the attendees on the webinars, why there is a specific shift happening in this world, and why the topic of your webinar is so hot topic at the exact moment that they are watching it. So make sure it lies out of yourself, that it's bigger than yourself. What you want to do, you want to go over each and every pillar, and in between you want to show testimonials. Why that is because a lot of people, they have a big testimonial section within their webinar, but it's way more effective if you remind them after each and every pillar on their testimonials and what people achieved, right? Because you can give them way more context, and also people don't need to be sold on the product as hard as they need to be sold on themselves and that they can do it themselves, right? That's why you want to have these testimonials in different sections after or within every single pillar that you are going over. By the way, a lot of people, they don't even know before you start pitching that you are here to sell them something, right? What you want to do is you want to pitch a very long time. You don't want to pitch like 5 minutes and then do a Q&A and fuck off. No. You want to pitch as long as possible. Pitch for at least 15 minutes on a webinar, because people almost need that assurance, right? That they can do it and that they can be taking action, right? Let's say the next action most of the time is hopping on a call with you. Make sure you incentivize people for taking action fast, right? Make sure you have a bonus structure in place where, let's say, everyone who books a call tonight will be getting the program or the product at 3K. And for everyone who books later, they will only be getting it on 6K, for example, right? And the bonus itself needs to be almost the primary reason why people take action to the next step in the funnel. Also, what you want to do, you want to create scarcity, a fuck ton of scarcity, right? And if you all do it in the right way, people are almost going to beg you to be part of your high ticket product or your exclusive offer. By the way, if people on a webinar are signing up for a call, then make sure you call out these people. You want to be congratulating each and every one for booking the meeting and taking the next step, and you want to label them and literally call them by name. And what that does is it makes everyone who signed up feel good, but it also makes everyone who didn't take action yet feel bad. And because you label everyone who signs up, you automatically also label in an indirect way everyone who doesn't take action. And that is so powerful. Now, after you're pitching, after you're leading people to the call, you want to be doing a Q&A and also drop some CDAs between every set of questions. By the way, you want to make sure that at least 70 to 80% of all of your attendees who joined live stay until the pitch. If you don't do that, your webinar sucks and you need to do something about everything that comes before the pitch. Once people are booked in for the calls, you want to have at least a 10 to 20% booking rate for organic webinars and a show up rate on the call for at least 80%, right? If you don't have a show rate of 80%, that's gonna be for another video, but then your sales process sucks and you need to have some best practices where you make sure that you also incentivize people for showing up on the call itself. And then a close rate, have a close rate of at least 15 to 30% for everyone who comes on a call, so that at least like 15 to 30% are actually buying whatever you were selling on the webinar. Now, people might think after I did the webinar, I got people on the call, some people bought my program or my offer. Now the work is done. I see you next month. But that's not true, because what you can do is you can start actually a new funnel. And what you want to be doing is for everyone who signed up but they didn't attend, you want to make sure there is a webinar replay live and make sure you set a time limit on it. Let's say the replay will only be live for 3 or 4 days, and you make sure there is a timer below that, right? And what you want to do, you want to blast them with emails as well. And what you do is you create scarcity to go through the entire webinar, because otherwise it's gonna be gone, and to go through the leaf shifting material. And you also want to make sure that they book a call and you can close them on your offer as well. Now, it doesn't even stop there, because once you had your normal webinar, you had the webinar replay, then you can start doing a pop-up webinar. And a pop-up webinar is basically an additional webinar tied to the previous webinar. So what you want to be saying basically is, oh, we noticed that a lot of people on our webinar still had some unanswered questions, and we want to do another shorter event where we answer all of these questions. By the way, you already know that you're going to do the pop-up webinar before you do the normal webinar, right? But it's just the right way of framing it and giving the reason on why you do it. And the same story here, man. You just make sure everyone takes action, urgency, bonus, and you get them on a call and you close the fuck out of them. And that is what a top 1% webinar backend blueprint looks like, right? To make sure that people sign up, you create a lot of curiosity, you make it a very big event, and you sell people on showing up on the webinar. You make sure they go through your content, you blast them with value-dense emails, you remind them via SMS sequences, and they join your WhatsApp group where they will be seeing you every single day and they will be reminded about your webinar every single day. Now, if you don't know exactly on how to implement this for your own business and you would rather want to bring on an expert who is coming hands-on into your business and doing all the work himself, or giving you the necessary best practices to get the best results possible, so hit me up on Instagram, link is below, and we can have a quick chat over there to see whether it makes sense for both parties or not, so that you know exactly what you need to be doing and what it takes for you to be pulling off 6-figure launches. So hope you like this one, and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.